Hi, welcome back to Coldstream Rod Shop. I'm Derek Fraser. This is a video of the entire 32 three-window coupe project we did for the Milkman. This car came to us in the fall of 2021, and we agreed to keep it over the winter and work on it as we were working on our other projects. So we did videos along the way, bits and pieces of the different, the floor, the doors, the door handles and everything else. So what we decided to do is put it all together in one video for those of you who didn't see the other bits and pieces, and you can see the whole project from beginning to end. Hopefully you enjoy. Please let us know if you like this idea or not, and enjoy. Hi, welcome back to Coldstream Rod Shop. I'm Derek Fraser. Going to show you the next project that's come into the shop. The Fiat Topolino left, and we shuffled a few things around. As we've shown, we've been working on the 32 pickup. We'll show another video on that, but what's come in is a 1932 Ford three-window coupe. It's a fiberglass car. It belongs to a friend of ours. They've brought it in for us to do some work. We're going to start getting into doing a little bit of upholstery. So when our friend heard about that, they said, oh, I've got a labrum body kit with all the door panels and all the upholstery, the tuck and roll. There's a headliner here. There's some vinyl, and there's all the cutout. I'm going to help a little bit, but the camera lady is going to be the one doing most of the work, even though she's not on the camera. So essentially, we're going to make this labrum body kit fit a fiberglass three-window body. There's also, we've got to do some carpet as well. I'll do it. You can take a quick look here. You can see the way it looks right now. There's a few other little mechanical things I was asked to take a look at. It's a nice car. It's been driven for quite a while, and our friend finally said, well, I'd really like to get the interior put in. There's not too many people around to do it. We've done some work, so we volunteered to help him out. There's a few mechanical things, like the window is a little loose inside I have to fix. I have to fix the other door. It's sitting a little low. It's a nice car. I said, I think it's been on the road about 10 years or so. And he also said he's going to let me loose and do a little pinstriping, so I'm going to do some pinstriping on the front grille, some pinstriping on the back. Said it's a 32 three-window fiberglass body, steel frame. It's got the right look, the right stance. He likes green because he's a farmer. It's I think it's John Deere green, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to try and find some John Deere green pinstriping paint and try and accent it there. But that's the next project. Not that we needed another one, but we had room to move another one in. And like I said, we're going to start doing a little more upholstery work, do a few more panels. We've done it for our own. We'll do some work on this one, and of course on the 32 pickup we're going to do some upholstery work on that as well. And when I say we, it's mostly the camera lady and just me fitting them inside of the car. Anyway, that's the latest project. Hope you enjoyed. Please send us any questions about what we're doing. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Thanks and take care. Today I'm going to talk about what we've been doing on the Milkman's coupe, as somebody has called it. One of the things when it came in, we were asked to do was put outside door handles onto it, because all they had before was on the inside, just like a little knob here like this that you had to reach in and open the doors. So I've installed a few handles on a few cars this way. Right now it's kind of dummied in. I'm just going to show you what we've done. Basically went out and bought some 32 three-window door handles, and then drilled and put it in place. It's not permanently in place right now, but on the fiberglass car, they came with these bear claws, and then there was like a little latch here that stuck out. So with some help of someone that already did this before, coupled with the fact that I did it on my Model A and my 32, essentially the door handle comes through. We bought this little handle here, made this little pivot arm that hooks up to the bottom of the bear claw. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put inside door handles on it. So here is the inside door handles that go on my 32 pickup there. So basically, there's the bear claw there. There's a little mechanism here we buy from Rocky Hinge in the US, and that'll actually stick through the door there. But when you turn this, it'll click it open. So once we install it, we'll install it probably either here or here, and there'll be a little wire going to the top of this little lever there. Right now it works just fine. Well, there. I just have to buy long enough stainless steel screws to hold it in place there. Demonstration over here on the Model A, we've done the same thing. On the side here I installed the bear claw type hinge, but on the Model A there's actually a lever that comes down from the outside of the door handle through the bottom, and it comes up, and as you turn this, it comes undone. But then on the inside, here is kind of what we're going to do over there on the 32. Basically install a inside door handle like that clicks it off. So that's our update on what we've done on the 32 3-window coupe. It's not very much, but it took a while to do. When we get it all installed, we'll do another update. But that's it for now. That's what we're doing. Hopefully, if you have any questions, shoot us an email, shoot us a message. We'll answer it as soon as we can. And everybody take care. Have a good one. Over on the Milkman's 32 3-window, one of the things on the previous episode, I had the exterior door handles mounted. What we were waiting for was this mechanism here that we bought from the US, a place called Rocky Hinge. It's basically, I'll insert a picture of what it looks like. And essentially it's like a lever here. And between the lever, I ran a bicycle cable over here to the bear claw latch. So again, we'll insert a picture. The other thing with the 32 3-window handles, there's no spring mechanism into them, kind of like what there is with the 32 pickup. It's just a straight handle. So I had to basically go out and find a spring here so it would return. So there it is, locked in place. It releases. Same thing from the outside. I had to do this on this side and the other side. Now, it being a fiberglass car, it was a little more challenging on the other side for some reason or other, because the fiberglass dipped in, so there's a lot more adjustments. But it went in the same way. Just finished this one up today. But same thing. So now we have inner and outer door handles for the Milkman's 32 3-window. We got the carpet in this week as well, and the binding. So next up we'll be laying the carpet, and then now that I've got the positioning for the inner door handles here, we'll make the inner door panels. We have some upholstery that will go over it. If we're happy with it, we'll put it on. If not, the camera lady is going to make some new stuff if she doesn't like it. Also, the headliner goes in, but we'll cover that as we go. Hi, welcome back to Coldstream Rod Shop. I'm Derek Fraser. Today we're going to be working on the 32 3-window coupe. It's a fiberglass coupe. The owner of the car asked us to install a kit they picked up. It was a LeBaron Bonney kit, picked up I don't know how many years ago. It is for a steel body car. What we found out with the kit was we've got all these panels here. We thought that, you know, we should be able to take those panels and put the upholstery on it and install it, and we were wrong. The inside of the fiberglass body is not exactly the same as the steel body. So what we do have is like these panels here, which for the inside, and like I said, when I tried to fit them, they're absolutely not the same size. So what we had to do is, oh, not sure how much the camera lady can show. Didn't think this out very well. But what I did, I took some tracing paper, or some, in this case it's paper that you use for masking the car off, and I positioned it, basically taped it to the car door, and then cut it out to what size piece I thought I'd need. Trimmed it, put it on, took it off a few dozen times until I had the right shape. So this is the shape that it needs to be for the fiberglass body. And as you can see here, it's not quite the same shape as what the steel body would be. It's pretty close. So I made the pattern with this, and then I went and bought a sheet of 1/8 melamine at the hardware store. It was like 30 bucks for the sheet. And then basically put the sheet, and then I cut it out. Had to allow for a hole for the inside door handle, and then these have bear claw latches on them from where they were made, so I had to make a notch out there. Now I then took the panel, you can see the holes into it, but I'll explain to you how I made the holes. I put the panel on, it's right there. I had to trim it a few times, go back and forth, open and shut the door. So I got the outside of the panel all trimmed. The next thing I had to think about was how we were going to attach it to the fiberglass body. Now, like on the original Ford ones, I've used plastic attachments before. They're good, they go in once, but then you pull them off, they break. So Ford, the original ones, they have these little door trim panel fasteners. I bought them off Amazon. So it's, you can buy them by the bag. So the one thing with them is that you cut a hole. You have to cut a hole in your panel. And then this trim, let's see here. So the hole is offset to where it goes in to like the door. So basically what I'd have to determine is where the holes are in the door. So what I did for that was I went around the door and approximately where I needed to put the pins, as you can see, I drilled this one little 1/8 hole there all the way around. And then I figured out that the center of the hole to the center of the hole here that you need is 5/8 of an inch. So once I drilled all the 1/8 holes through the panel into the door, I went back in the shop, then I drilled these 1/2 inch access holes here. And then I came back to the door and I drilled a 3/16 hole where these were. So I've got the panel all prepped. We're going to go into the house and actually put the upholstery onto it that was supplied for it. We do have the capability of making it ourselves, but my friend who asked us to do this, he provided the kit and kind of wanted us to use whatever we could. Said unfortunately we couldn't use these panels here, but we do know somebody with a steel 32 Ford 5 window. Potentially he is going to take those panels because they'll actually be a direct fit for his car. So follow along. We're going to show you putting the material on these panels, and then we'll put the panel on the door. Hey, so we're now in the camera lady's upholstery room and quilting room. I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing. There was a supplied piece of this tuck and roll, or looks like tuck and roll type material that came with it. We're doing our best to adapt this to the two door panels. So we had a choice. We basically cut it in half. And then right now what we've done, we've best fit it as best we can. We've marked out, we need about 1 inch to fold over to basically have something to glue and to staple on. So I'm just going to cut this out with the scissors that there we go.
How much overlay?
1 inch is what we did. That's what we figured we need with this material. I mean, we're not upholsterers, we're just do-it-yourself people. So now what we're going to do, we're going to glue it and then staple over the edge. Now, we went to an upholsterer that we know. We've tried all kinds of glues and adhesives on different famous and very well-known brands where you spray it on from an aerosol can. None of them work. Once the heat hits it, it comes undone. So we went and actually got the glue from an upholsterer. We basically took some mason jars and filled it up and gave them some cash. You can spray this on. If we were out in the garage, I'd put into one of my older primer guns and we would basically spray it around the edge like the upholsterers do, but this time around we're just going to brush it on. So so we're applying the glue by brush, not the most efficient way. Basically you put the glue on, it's kind of like a contact cement. It's a type of contact cement. Got to wait for it to tack up, usually about 5-10 minutes. If we sprayed it on, you could pretty much do it right away because but where I'm brushing it on, there's a little more material. It needs to dry up a little bit more before we pull it over. So we'll show you stapling in a couple seconds. So the camera lady and I stretched it over the edges, and we're just working our way around now. Just pulling. And stapling. Okay, so the camera lady and I have worked our way all the way around, put lots of staples in and tacked it up. We're quite happy with it so far. That's what it looks like. It's just basically a plain panel. Now we're going to go and test fit it on the car to make sure that we fit it properly. Like I said, we've taken it on and off a couple times. It should clear, but I also have to cut the hole here for the inside door handle, and then I'll fit the escutcheon onto it. Once I have that, then I'll put the clips in and we'll put it on the door. So see you in a couple seconds. So here we are. I thought we were actually working on the driver's door, but I actually grabbed the passenger door side. No harm, just we're going to do the passenger car side. So the panel fits fine. Here's the escutcheon that I was talking about that's going to go on here. And then the door handle goes in like that. So what I got to do now is I've got to drill a hole through here. And what you do is you put the door in, and you push this back and put a pin through, and then the door will actually hold it in place. So it's ready now to put the clips on and actually push them in place. So we'll do that next. Grabbing the clips, basically you're going to line them up between where the access hole is and where the hole is that matches up with the hole in the door. You just wiggle them in place. Again. So this has to line up with that little hole there that I had pre-drilled before. It just helps better with the alignment. So I'm going to work my way around here, put them all in place. Might have to trim a little bit of the upholstery away so that there's not too much interference. Okay, I drilled the hole for the handle because I didn't want to do that with the upholstery on. Now we're going to try and fit her in place. It's just a matter of lining, getting the, going to need the flashlight, thank you. If this were steel, I could, there we go. All I have to do now is go make a little pin for that, but that's the, and of course, probably wipe it down, but that's it, it's in place. We'll do the pin in a couple seconds. Fits. That's it. That's the one door panel. Just have to repeat the process again. That's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you saw that it's relatively straightforward, relatively easy. You can do it yourself. Anyways, that's it. Hopefully you have a nice weekend. Everybody take care. Please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, please message us or leave comments in the bottom. Thank you. Take care, everybody. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Coldstream Rod Shop. I'm Derek Fraser. We are working on the Milkman's 3-window coupe. Couple things we're working on kind of simultaneously is we're fitting pieces of the carpet, getting ready to bind it, but also we're working on the headliner. Now, as I've said quite a few times in the other videos, this is a fiberglass rod action coupe. And we got a interior kit from LeBaron Bonney for a steel body, so it's not set up the same way. So in this case here, we have the headliner, which I'll show you in a couple seconds, and what we're doing is we're actually moving these bows to line up where the headliner is. So we took this panel off here, which covered over the front windshield. We had to make this piece of wood for the headliner to attach to, and then we just finished moving this one. I'm just using seam sealer across the top to fix it to the fiberglass. The seam sealer is pretty good because it's relatively firm. There's a little bit of flex to it, and it's screwed in place. I mean, this is the way they come from the factory. We want to firm that up so that when we pull the headliner up and then staple it in place, we'll have something firm to attach to. Also, we've got some Dynamat that we're actually putting on the ceiling too. The customer wanted that on the ceiling and across the back to, I guess, quiet things down. The carpet's going to go a long way to quiet things down, as will the door panels. So we're just going to work our way through here. We've got this one in place, then we're going to measure this one and do the same thing. It's probably going to come about an inch forward. Not sure yet on the back, but we'll show you as we go through the video. So over here, I'll show you the headliner material. So this is the headliner material. The camera lady had actually to add a piece onto it because it wasn't long enough. This one here, okay. So she had to actually sew this piece on here, and then this is the strip that will be stapled to the bows on the inside of the car. So follow along here. We'll show you how we go put the headliner in the 32 3-window coupe. So here we are in the 32 3-window coupe. The camera lady has been very busy. She is doing 90% of all of this on the inside of the car. I'm helping along. But so far, what she's done is she's attached the first couple rows of the headliner. As you can see over here, it's been stapled in place. She's used some binding. And then as we go, we pull it to the next bow and staple it. So in behind here, I'm hoping that we're going to be able to show you because it's the last one. See how the white material has been pulled up against the oh, it's quite difficult. There's not a lot of room in here. Sorry. Okay, there we go. So it's the white material that's sewn on the back of the headliner is pulled up and stapled to the bows. And then in between the bows, what we've been doing, the customer supplied some Dynamat-like material. And then we also had some actual Dynamat brand. So whatever his covered, we put on because that was a request, and then we put the rest of Dynamat along the back. Likewise on the floor, customers supplied it's a sound deadening rubber type material. We put that on the floor, and then what we're going to do next is we will pull this back, and more than likely, glue it to the back here. There we go. More than likely we're going to either glue it to the back of the Dynamat, or I'm going to make a piece of wood across the back here to actually glue it against. And then what will happen is that the panels we make will come up and meet the headliner. Over on the sides here, this has to be trimmed off, and then there's actually a panel we make that goes across here that covers up this edge. So follow along, there's more to come.
Hey, we're back. We realized that we needed to have another tacking strip for the headliner. So we've been working on the past couple of days, this and a couple other things, but essentially I've now got a piece of wood across the top and then a tacking strip above the window in order to nail the or staple the headliner to. So essentially went down on the wood. Well, I made a cardboard pattern here, approximately the shape like that. Went down in the wood shop and I cut a piece of oak. In this particular case, we could have used pine or ash or anything else you have. The important thing though, when you're making it, is make the grain it's kind of hard with the curved surface, but make sure your grain on the thin part is not perpendicular here because it'll just break off. It'll be glued in place, but the thin parts kind of have to have your grain on an angle, kind of like what we did here. And essentially that got epoxied up against the roof. And then I put some seam sealer on it here just for a little bit of more support. I mean, the ones on the original they're just nailed on either end. They're not even, attached to the structure of the car at all. So right now, again, like I said, piece of wood across here, one across the top of the window, one on the other side. Got our dynamat in, and we're ready to staple the headliner up to the top here and then trim it. So we'll show you in a couple seconds what it looks like. Right, so here we are. The camera lady has stretched the headliner up across the back and stapled it to the wood that we put across here. We used this cardboard tacking strip. I'm not sure what you call it. It's the same thing the furniture guys use. And we initially stapled it underneath a little bit. Then we took the cardboard and used the cardboard kind of as a guide to push it all up along the way. So there it is now. Headliner's in place. Basically, wood and staples is what it took to put it up there, and a little bit of epoxy. As we said before, the bows are just positioned ahead of where the seams are. That's our version of installing a headliner on the 32 three-window coupe, the fiberglass body. We are going to now start working on making the panels that go across the back here and upholster them, and then of course the panels down the side. So stay tuned. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Maybe it inspired you to give it a try yourself. Anyway, everybody take care. Have a good one. Thank you. Hi, Dirk Fraser here from Coldstream Rod Shop. Welcome back to working on the 32 three-window coupe. We are working on the upholstery inside here. The camera lady's been very busy putting the dynamat here on the transmission hump and across the firewall. Still have a little bit to do right here by the shifter, and then we're going to put a couple pieces here on the kick panels. One thing I've done so far, we've made patterns for the upholstery for the kick panels. I've installed these pieces of sheet metal here with the, I think it's a 3/16" hole so we can use those panel clips. We are going to go make, or I'm not, the camera lady is going to go make the upholstery for covering these kick panels. So we're going to show you as we go. So we've got the push on right now to try and get this done within the next week or two. Our goal had been for the end of the month of April, but some family help situations came up, so we haven't been able to execute on that plan. But I think most of you know how that is. The camera lady is going to glue carpet on the firewall up to here, and she's also going to get the carpet bound in this episode as well. So this episode will cover kick panels, carpet on the firewall, carpet across the floor, and then whatever else we can fit in this weekend. So follow along, more to come. So the camera lady has been really busy over the past day. She's got the carpet glued to the firewall. All the dynamat is completely around. I'm not sure if we caught that a few minutes ago. So carpet's glued to the wall. The carpet right now is all cut to fit to the floor. Because the customer wants access to a panel right here, we have to cut the carpet this way so it can be lifted back. So what we're doing, or what she is doing, she's going to bind it all the way around here, and then we're going to put some Velcro underneath it here so the carpet sits down. But there's an access panel right here to the transmission that the customer wants access to. So what you could normally do would be to put the carpet and glue it to the panel, and then you would have like a U-shaped piece of carpet going around the transmission tunnel. But right now, because of the circumstances of what the customer wants, this is what we're going with. So we're going to take the carpet inside. The camera lady is going to, well, I'm going to video her putting some binding around the carpet. Then we'll bring it back outside, put it in the car, and then the panels on the side would be next. So here we are in the camera lady's sewing room. She is going to sew up some of these panels. So what she's done, she's laid out the lines with a grease pencil on the vinyl, and then cut a piece of foam over here. Now the grease pencil on the vinyl just cleans up with a little bit of rubbing alcohol or methyl hydrate, just cleans it up pretty slick. And right here, she's done a couple lines already. It's simple, but it's not. It's kind of hard to keep a straight line, so she's just going to sew a couple lines here. And there we go, we're back at it. Just a matter of following the lines, much the same as if you're in the wood shop using the bandsaw, following a line. Simple to do, but it takes a little bit of practice. So she's going to finish up the rest of these lines here, and then we're going to put them on the kick panels. So here we are in the camera lady's sewing room. Here on the floor, on the bottom, you can see we've got some binding material. It's called 7/8 centerfold. We're going to use that to bind the edge of the carpet. So this is a test piece, a sample piece. We're just going to show you. On the machine, there's a special foot there that helps bind it or guide it around the edge of the carpet. So that's it there, if you can see. Basically puts a piece of binding, or just finishes up the edge of the carpet. Going to be doing that to the big piece over here that we've cut for the Milkman's 3-window coupe. Another thing that we're working on, we're going to show you, we made up some of the panels here in a few minutes. So once we do the carpet, put that in the 3-window coupe, then we're going to come back inside and then we're going to do the kick panels. We're getting ready to do the kick panels. So we made cardboard pattern or hardboard patterns. We did them in cardboard first and then we transferred them to the hardboard. We drilled our holes for the clips, and then the camera lady got some vinyl. Actually, it was supplied to us by the Milkman. And then she went out and bought something called sew foam. It's 1/2 inch thick. Pattern would go on here, and we leave basically 1 inch all the way around. So on this side, we cut it out. We've left 1 inch all the way around. I've put the glue onto it. We're still painting because we don't have the spray gun. So now I'm going to fold this over all the way around. Might take quite a few minutes, so don't know if we'll keep the camera rolling for the whole time, but we'll try. So we're going to flip it over and then also staple it.
I'm gonna have to staple. It's pretty thick stuff. That's okay. So here's the first panel. We pulled it around the edge just like we did on another episode. Everything's all glued and stapled. Here's the 2 access holes for our clips. We're going to go back outside here after I do this one, and we'll install them on the 3-window coupe and finish off the video. So here we are. We have one panel done. Got the metal clips on. We've got little tabs here with the holes into it where we're going to push the clips into it. There's the finished panel. Hopefully she goes in. Oh, I'm going to have to use this. Put up the holes. Might have to make the holes a little bigger. Yep, we're going to have to make the holes a little bigger. Okay. Turn it off. Alright, so I had to take the panel back off. The holes that I drilled, I previously said there were 3/16 holes for those little metal clips to fit into it. It's actually just a little bit bigger than 1/4 inch. I had to re-drill the holes. The little metal brackets that I had installed here actually were sitting in too far, so I had to bend those out. In the meantime, the camera lady went in and made supper for us, and I put these in. So right now, both panels are in. This one's in. I had to do the same thing on the other side. The other side was a little bit more challenging. I don't know why, but it's just one of those things. So there's 3 metal clips. This is where the high beam switch was before, and that's where he wants it back. So we're just going to put that through one of the holes in the floor where it was before. He's going to keep his high beam switch where it is. Wanted his kick panels in place, so we've got the 2 kick panels, cut the carpet in, and then next we are going to start working on these curved panels here and the back. And there's a piece to go up top here. So that's it for this video. Basically the carpet and the kick panels. We're going to put another one together as we work through the back of the car. Hopefully you enjoyed, or at least found it humorous, all our struggles trying to get it in here. And we'll see you next time on the next video. Everybody take care. Thank you. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Coldstream Rod Shop. I'm Derek Fraser. On today's video, we're going to talk about more work on the interior we're doing on the 32 3-window coupe. On last video, we did the floor and we did the kick panels. This video here, I'm going to be talking about and working through how we do the top part of the inside of the coupe here. So come on inside and I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, so what we want to do is actually cover the back here. I have some material to make these pieces with, so I started off with just a piece of Bristol board, I guess, or a poster board, whatever you want to call it. And I've made a pattern here. I thought about doing it all in one piece, but unfortunately the vinyl we have won't cover the whole length. So what we're going to do is make pieces here. It's going to come up underneath the window, and then we'll make a piece on top and the bottom. So there's one for the left and one for the right. The paper pattern I made right now is good for both sides. It took a lot of going back and forth to kind of get the shape. So here's the paper pattern. Let's go over in the other garage and I'll show you what I'm going to make the panels out of. So we're over in the other garage. This is the material that I'm going to make the panels out of. It's actually sign board. It's not that easy to come by. I actually had to buy it from another upholsterer. So I've taken the paper pattern and I've transferred to it. I should probably tell you what this basically is. It's a thin piece of aluminum on either side, and in the center, I think it's like ABS material. So the aluminum is on the outside and the inside. So essentially what you do, you cut out the pattern you want, and then we bend it to shape. So got the paper pattern. The stuff cuts quite well with an aluminum jigsaw blade. So I'll just cut this one out. I know that's not all that exciting, but just showing it's relatively easy to cut out. If we were cutting straight lines, what you can do is you can scribe this with like a razor blade, and then it'll just break the same way the drywall will. So this is the other side that I have to do. I've just got to trim it a little bit more. And then what I did to shape it, I actually took my I don't have a roller or a set of rolls. But I just pulled my MIG bottle up. You can take an oxyacetylene tank, make sure I bend this the right way. I still have to trim it, but here's one of my trial pieces. So basically, I just took that panel I just cut out, and I'm just going to keep working it around the bottle. If you have a set of slip rolls, you can run it through, but the radius across the top is not exactly the same as the radius across the bottom. So basically, I just keep bending this and bending this, top and bottom, back and forth, and trial fit. Until This is one side I've done already. So it's all bent to the right shape. I'll just come on back over here and I'll show you. Probably have to go over to the other side. Maybe. Oh, there's the light. So that's how that side is going to fit on. The plan to attach it to the wall, the pillar here, is I've got some plastic push pins. I'm going to drill 1/4-inch holes here, 3 places. I'm going to put them through this panel, and then we're going to cover the panel with vinyl. So I'll show you that in the next few minutes. I'll make the other side. I'll get this prepped. I'll get the holes drilled. So these will go on. They'll get covered in vinyl with glue, glued on both sides. Just continue watching and we'll show you the finished product hopefully here soon. Out in the old garage here, we're just getting ready to put some glue on this panel. I've got the clips in place. We've got a piece of vinyl cut. The glue we're using is I don't know what it's called, but I got it from an upholstery shop here. It's like a contact cement specifically for upholstery. Don't go use the stuff in the cans in the stores. None of the stuff in the cans in the stores, no matter how good they are, will stick in the heat. It's especially important for something like this where we're not going to staple on the back to use the proper kind of glue. So we're going to spray this and spray that, and then we're going to put it on there. We'll probably have to set the camera down because it takes 2 of us to basically put it on. The camera lady has to help me. We don't have the stand right now. So I'm going to spray it, and then we'll show you the product when it's all stuck on, and then we'll show you putting it in the car. Oh, sorry. So we're just going to let that tack up for a little bit, 4 or 5 minutes to make sure it's sticky just like any other contact cement. Then we're going to put it on, stretch it around the back, and we'll see you in a couple seconds. Hi, so the camera lady and I have got the vinyl on this side put on place. Now we've put glue around the edges here, so we have to pull the vinyl over the edge. And I actually see I've got to put a little more on the bottom there. There's not quite enough glue on the bottom. A little too much. Okay, so here's the panel. I've got the vinyl on one side. We pulled it all over the back side here, and it's glued in place. I've got the little plastic, I don't know what you call them, but like they're upholstery retention pins on the back. Got some holes drilled here, so this panel is just going to go in here like this. And like that. So what I have to do next is I'm going to take this trim off, and I'm going to put a couple screws underneath the trim to hold this in place. Then I'm going to make a piece of the same thing with the same material here and wrap it in vinyl for the bottom and the top.
And then we're going to go along, we'll do the ones above the door the same way. So stay tuned, we're at it today. Hopefully we'll get this done. Working on the final trim pieces to go across the top here. Really didn't know what to do here. I think what they normally do is they staple something up or put nails through it or screws through it, which I really don't like very much. So what I did, I took a piece of OSB or a fiberboard or whatever, and I wrapped it in vinyl, and I've got these little push pins on the end. So they're going to push into some holes up there. You can pry them out, but they go in and they stick really well. So hopefully, don't do like I did in the last video. There we go. They just press in like that. So you can see the pins or whatever underneath the vinyl, but it's all nice and smooth, like there's no exposed screws. And like I said, I didn't want to staple something. I wanted it to look as finished as I can. We also worked around the back. I've got the top piece in and the bottom piece in, and then put the garnish molding back on the car, on top of it, because that's what he wanted. So we've got the back done, across the top, the headliner, carpet. The last thing that we were asked to do was put 2 panels on the side here, and then he wants a piece of wood to go across the back here. So we'll carry on with that, and we'll finish the whole thing off here in this video, okay? Hi, as we said, we had a little more to do on the interior work before we started putting the seats in. So what we've done so far, just as I described, was we made 2 more panels for the left and the right. The camera lady quilted the material, or ran it through. And then I attached these to the wood the same way that I did the pieces across the top. Basically the little plastic push pins we pushed through the board underneath, covered the board with the upholstery, and then they just pushed in place like this. Most of it's going to be covered by the seats, but we wanted to have a more finished look for what was left over. Then across the back, we put a coat of black paint on the fiberglass panel that was here. And then this piece here is a piece of 1/8 inch PVC. Just something nice and neat and tidy that will go on. And again, like the seats are going to be here. Most of this is going to be covered. I'm going to put the seats back in. I'm going to put the boot down here over the shifter, put the shifter back in, steering wheel on, and then we'll show you the finished product. So I'm not a professional pinstriper. I was asked to put a couple lines on this. I've drawn something out. I kind of like it. I may have to redo. I think I can see I have to redo a line here, but I'll wipe it off and I'll redo it. But essentially went on the internet, bought myself a pinstriper brush. I've done it over on the hot rod over there. Lots of videos on the internet on how to pinstripe. I'm not going to pretend to teach you how to do this. But basically, load your brush up. That's a little. Basically, you load your brush up with paint. So you've got something that looks good. Over here on the back of the car, I traced out a pattern with a grease pencil. This is a little more challenging one. Don't know if I'll be able to do it in front of the camera or not, but I'll show you the end result here. So the 32 3-window coupe Milkman's project is pretty much done. We'll show you the inside here in a couple minutes. Everything's all put back together again. We're just going to do this pinstriping for them, and it'll be ready to go. Hi, so here we are at the end of the 32 3-window coupe interior project for the Milkman. We've got the seats back in, shifter on, emergency brake, high beam switch. All the panels are in, pretty much everything ready to go. Just going to finish off the last of the pinstriping on the trunk. We'll show you the trunk. Trunk's put back together as well. But that's the end of this project. Hopefully he'll come pick this up in the next couple days, and a new surprise will roll in here. I know upholstery isn't everybody's thing, but it is part of building a hot rod. We try to do everything we can ourselves, but that's our take. Like I said, we're just a little rural hot rod shop in Nova Scotia. We're just doing this for fun. Hopefully you enjoyed our videos. Hopefully you learned something from it. Maybe it inspired you to do something yourself. That's hopefully what I can do. But that's it for this one. Again, hopefully you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Everybody take care.
Hi, welcome back to Coldstream Rod Shop. I'm Derek Fraser. Sorry we haven't had a video out for a while. We posted a clip, a little 30-second clip of the 32 3-window leaving. That was actually the second attempt, unfortunately, for them to leave. Had a little bit of difficulties getting the engine going. One thing that happened, the car had sat for a while, and it's an older build, and the carburetor was leaking a lot. So we actually had to pull the carburetor off and get it rebuilt. The actual deadening block, if you can see here, was cracked all the way through here. Even the bottom of the accelerator pump was cracked. So I'd taken it apart, and then I took it up to DWA Automotive. They did a full rebuild. They pulled it all apart, got it ultrasonically cleaned, changed all the gaskets, everything else, got it running on a test engine. It was all good. And then the car, I think the engine hadn't been really gone over for a while, so we put a bunch of plugs into it, and just fired up and sounded incredible compared to when we first started it up. So the car actually stood here, or the actual car stayed here for an extra 2 weeks until we got that sorted out. But as anybody knows, if you've got a hot rod, that's one of the things that happens. They're not maintenance free, and you got to do work on them. So that's what happened to the 32 3-window coupe.